Hi, I'm Lars.
My name is Benji, and we're the owners of Fluid.
We're the owners of Fluid.
Yeah. What inspired us to open Fluid? We really were desperate for a place to engage in one of our favorite mutual activities, which is drinking natural wine specifically together. And we were kind of desperate for a place where we could do that in a non-stuffy and honestly non-straight setting. The inspiration is pretty squarely that we love the product that we sell and we wanted to share it with our community. There's a whole lot of reasons, but essentially queer and wine together makes us.
For me, being able to create a space, which I think is an ever-evolving process, and I think I'm proud of where we're at, but I'm excited to see where we continue to go, that allows for all of these parts of our community, not just on the vectors of gender and sexuality, but across race and class and immigration status and ability, et cetera, be able to come together, sit with friends, or maybe even boogie a little, feels really special.
I think what inspires the event partners that we pick is often the sense of community. We are open to any idea as long as the idea fits within an ethos of community and respect. We're open to most ideas, things like Clapback, which was a night for the Black queer community and will repeat at the end of April. We've had Flinta-focused events, we've had more kink-focused events. All of these events were brought to us by people who we may or may not have known before, but who have an idea and just need the possibility and the space. We're super open to that kind of collaboration.
I mean, we're both white, so having like the opportunity to have event partners that focus on identities that we're a part of as well as identities that we're not a part of feels really important. For us, it's about like if there's a concept and it's built, like trusting freely and giving space, especially to people who maybe have heard a lot of no's in terms of opportunities to build space. And from there, leading with fun and letting the event flow.
We ourselves put on a sober party at the end of January in honor of our door person, Bruno, who is sober themselves. And it was a huge success. We were floored by the feedback we got related to the sober party, specifically on the absolute necessity for more and more quality sober drinks in the nightlife space. We knew it, but we didn't expect that much, to be honest.
I'm a very firm believer that like in nightlife, having people who are sober, who go out and who feel safe and supported in their sobriety going out makes all of us safer. As a harm reductionist, I think that if there's not a space for sobriety, whether that is sobriety from alcohol or sobriety from all substances down to even tea and coffee, that feels crucial. And I know from a lot of sober queer people in my life that because our community has always been pushed into the night, that being sober and not having a space to go can feel really alienating as well. And for us to be able to play a role in that a little bit every day, but especially on something like Sober Bitch, is really, to me, like inspiring as someone who's not sober, but inspiring to me in terms of what my relationships to substances are behind the bar and in front of it. As a queer and trans-owned business, to me that feels really particularly important. Most of the queer spaces that I have worked at or have been a part of in some ways have a lot of straight representation and ownership. And what we're doing is we're paying a premium because gay bars are always so much more expensive than you know, the classic straight bar or vermuteo here. But when we do that, we're paying a premium, and most of that money is going to elite people who have nothing to do and have no stakes in our world. Is that the case across the bar in this city and beyond? No, absolutely not. But for me, as far as I know, we're the only trans-owned bar in Barcelona, and I don't know if I know any other trans-owned bars in the world. If you are, hit me up. For me, it feels specifically important, I think especially as we look at the political climate, not just in my home country, but across the board. There is a clear cultural war against trans people's ability to exist and make waves in our world. And so for me, I'm really lucky and very proud, and have a lot of axes of privilege and support, as well as gumption and scrappiness that has gotten me here. But I'm just excited to share the wealth, book trans talent as much as possible, hire trans and non-binary people, which we do. Our entire staff is trans and non-binary, and really just make spaces for everyone from ourselves to our staff to our clients to our neighbors to anyone who walks with and engages talent as well. This space to have the opportunity to be inspired and fed by the trans community, and to feel more authenticity in themselves through that exploration and the contact with a community that is consistently persecuted in our modern day world.
We at Fluid believe in action beyond representation, and so we are super proud of trying to put that into action, all of these amazing ideas into action in every way we can and in every instance that we can.
I want the dream legacy. We have a reputation within the city and internationally of being a really unique concept, which I think we are building, and that's something that I really want to hold. And if there's ever a day in which we don't exist, but there's some sort of tangible fingerprint that we have left, which I have no plans on not being here. Maybe we just leave our fingerprints on things and continue to exist. I want the wine world to feel pressure to include queer people in hiring, in pushing queer winemakers and women winemakers and winemakers of color, and finding accessibility for our community in that space, not just in terms of price, but also in terms of feeling comfort in those spaces.
We just look for a sense of community.